And we're live. Welcome back to Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans. And verify we are in fact live and squared away. Oh, the delay on this is insane. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. We're drinking whiskey tonight, by the way. If this will load, and I can verify we are in fact live. Oh, we got a comment. Cheers, Peter White. Okay, cool. Cool. That means we are live. Oh, that is playing music. That is not good. Okay, awesome. We are live. Are we too bright, too dark, too bright, too dark? How's that looking? How are we looking out? I probably shouldn't put it in front of the light. Sorry, guys. I switched to a new camera. I mean, it's the same camera, but a new camera. So I just want to verify things don't look funky. I look a little blue, but whatever. I don't care. I don't even care, man. Let's freaking drink some whiskey. Let's drink some whiskey. Autofocus should be significantly better on this camera, though, because it tracks my eyeball rather than my face box. So I don't think people give a crap about that, but I do. So it's time to drink. Let's drink. What's everyone drinking in the chat, by the way? Yeah, what are y'all drinking? Contrast looks great in my phone. Anyway, sweet JL in the house. Cheers, man. Nice to see you. Haven't seen your name before, or if I have, it's been a while. Peter, cheers. Sugar Kitty, cheers. Thanks for coming in, man. John Matlick, cheers and meow. Sugar Kitty is the only person who's allowed to meow. All right. No one else is allowed to meow. I'm just kidding. Cheers. Nice to see you, man. Peter White, cheers. As I said, have Nassif Family Reserve tonight at the moment. Ugh, it's looking to be one of those days. I feel like every week is one of those days. Let's drink some whiskey. Starting off tonight with some Smoke Wagon Straight Bourbon Whiskey, because we are reviewing some barrel products, and the base of Smoke Wagon's small batch, straight bourbon whiskey. The base of all Smoke Wagon is the base of a majority of barrel stuff, so I wanted to kind of start off on the same general path. Not going to Doc Swinson's, because I am going to compare some Doc Swinson's to the Amburana cask finished barrel as well, if all things go well. Ooh, that's sweet. First whiskey of the day as well. I've been drinking a little bit of gin before this for work-related purposes, but first whiskey, relatively new to the channel. Well, JL, thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out. Nothing but great content so far. Well, hell yeah. I hope to keep up with it. I mean, honestly, not much is probably going to change if we're being honest. I've vlogged a lot there for like a little tiny bit, and then I got a little, we'll call it burnt out. So I've been putting that on the back burner a little bit. We're going to get into it again. It's just it's going to come in time. I think I tried biting off more than I could chew as one person. So yeah, that is bugging me. My cats like to mess around with my lights when I'm not filming, because why not? Why wouldn't they? Oh man, dude, this smells incredible right now. It is like sweet sugar cookies. The sugariest of sugar cookies. Man, I might just be because I've been drinking gin all day, so like just anything non-gin related, so bourbon, it's getting me where I need to go, if you know what I mean. Man, that is sweet sugar cookies. I really like that. Ooh. Yeah, that's just, again, Smoke Wagon just smells great. Lord Rev Proof Rusty L Lugnuts. Greetings. Cheers. Nice to see you, man. How are you doing? Dave, I feel so bad because your name is a name I see very often, and for some reason I always struggle pronouncing it. Dave Vogelsang? Yeah, Vogelsang. I'm dyslexic, by the way, so I like sometimes the way I pronounce things is by like sounding them out, and yeah, it just sounds like I'm a third grader. Troy from Baker Drinks. Cheers. Nice to see you, man. How are you guys doing? Vogel saying, okay, so maybe I did pronounce it right. I don't know. I need to start drinking. Yeah, it's just sweet. A little bit of oak, a little bit of red fruit. Very sweet, very caramel. Not super thick, not thin also. Perfectly acceptable. I don't know. That's my opinions of a lot of Smoke Wagon stuff. Is it's perfectly acceptable. It does smell pretty good though. Nice warm up whiskey. Ooh, that is, yeah, nice warm up whiskey. We're gonna keep that together so I don't forget which one that one is. And we're gonna actually get into what we came here to get into today. Just some barrel bourbon. Barrel bourbon. Where was I? Just subbed. Thanks, man. Thanks for subscribing. Yeah, if you haven't done so already, like, comment, subscribe on this video. That helps us out. Goes a long ways, I think, in theory. That's what they tell me, at least. So, yeah, please do that. That was awesome. So these are samples I already tried. I tried them last week because this video was planned for that week, and I kind of through the process of denial, I guess you should say, I was like, well, you know what, even if I don't have time to review them, I'm gonna sit down with a buddy, pour them, drink them, talk about them. So I've already kind of had, you know, a little bit from these samples. I haven't fully drank them, obviously, so I can do this. I have my thoughts, my preconceived notions already going into these, but I'm going to try to be very honest and upfront with these. These are media samples that Barrell has sent to me from their new cask finished series. So first one we're going to try today is going to be the Tale of Two Islands. Oh, actually, I should probably just read off of their little handy dandy sheets because they sent me lots of detailed information that doesn't fit on the bottle. Ooh, excuse me. All right. In 2018, we produced a legendary Tale of Two Islands rum, a Jamaican rum matured in peated Isla single malt barrels. Those empty casks have been used to finish a blend of straight bourbons. This is a classic bourbon with notes of, okay, I'm just going to skip past that. So basically, it is a bourbon that has been finished in a ex-rum barrel, and that ex-rum barrel was previously a peated Scotch barrel. So it's a peated Scotch. So the barrel, knowing how Scotch goes, it was probably a bourbon barrel, and then it went to peated Scotch, and then it went to rum, and then it went to bourbon again. So this has been a, you could say this barrel's been used a bit. It's been it's gone through the ringer, at least you know, me guessing wise, because usually Scotch doesn't use a new cask. Which way, this is like a fourth used cask at this point, which is a lot for a barrel. But the draft mash bill on this one is going to be 73% corn, 23% rye, and 4% malted barley. The blend components are Indiana bourbon, so MGP, that is 5 years old, 6 years old, and 9 years old. And then it's going to be Maryland bourbons that are 5 and 6 years old. Maryland. What is that? Freaking Sagamore? Is Sagamore producing now? I mean, they have been for a while, as far as I'm aware, but I didn't realize they had enough stock that was that high up in age. Oh, what is going on here? Yeah, that's surprising. Sorry, other work-related stuff. Okay, Tale of Two Islands. Let's pour this SOB. Sagamore. Yeah. David Bass in the house. Oh my god. Jeez, this is embarrassing. Come on, I can open this. Okay, sweet. I hate these plastic caps. Like anything with a plastic twisty cap, I for some reason struggle so much getting it off. I mean, you've seen in chat before or like previous videos. Sometimes when I review, what is it, Westward? No, Westland. I always get those two mixed up. But sometimes when I review Westland, I literally have had to pull out channel locks on the internet to open up a bottle, and almost had to do that with this because I guess I probably tied it on too tight. Tied one on a little bit too tight that night, which I mean, I also did that when I review or when I tasted these previously. Let's see here. David Bass, cheers, nice to see you. Sagamore, yep. Isn't the Bourbon Junkies bourbon from Sagamore? Theoretically, I don't know. I haven't. I've been super busy, so I'm kind of like in and out of paying attention to the content they're releasing to Patreon and stuff, and I haven't yet got my hands on a bottle of their stuff yet. Which I mean, I'm highly looking for one, but I haven't yet gotten one. But I will. But I think either one of theirs, or they've sourced some barrels, or they're doing sourcing distillation from them, or contract distillation, I guess that's what it would be called. But I didn't realize that it was like old enough to be releasing, because Sagamore doesn't release their own bourbon. So I don't know why they're, I don't know. I feel like Sagamore Spirits should have a bourbon line if they have bourbon that's around 5 or 6 years old. I don't know. I'm confused. I don't understand why they don't have their own bourbon to begin with. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, because in my head, if they have 5 and 6 year old bourbon, it doesn't make sense for them to sell their bourbon to someone else when they could release their own line of bourbon and sell it at their cost compared to, selling it to someone. And then you get like smaller portions. I guess there's more work. So I don't know. That's confusing. The other possibility for the barrel is it could also start out as a sherry barrel. Yeah, that's true. But either which way, regardless whether it was bourbon or sherried, that's a heavily used barrel. That barrel is used and abused. Like that is wait, here we go. Sagamore's own spirit was concentration on rye. They do sell it, but distillery only. Okay, so they do sell bourbon, but they just focus on rye? Because a lot of the ryes I have from them is still MGP entirely. So are they now releasing their own rye? I don't know. I need to do something with Sagamore Spirits here in the future. Maybe I do a deep dive with them. I'll invite one of their brand ambassadors on and we can talk more about it if they sign up to come on, which they probably won't, but worth a shot. All right, let's spin this SOB. Let's talk about it, review it, score it. And it is, should be said as well. Let me verify price points on these bad boys. So, Barrell. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I almost bought one of these bottles the other day. So, cask finished bourbons. Okay, yeah. So all of these are currently $84.99, but they are doing shipping for $99 or more, which kind of sucks because that means you got to buy 2 bottles to get free shipping, but that is cool that they're doing free shipping. But let's get into it. On the nose, Tale of Two Islands. I mean, it smells pretty freaking good, not gonna lie. It's sweet. It has this like nutty cotton candy smell to it. Excuse me. If you didn't get a ride direct, then they're probably getting... Okay. Yeah, they're just needs outweighed what they can produce. Yeah, there's a little... So on Sunday, I was at a distillers event that we were at, and we were talking to one of the bigger distilleries here in Arizona, and they're doing a bit of sourcing and making their own product. And I asked one of their master distillers, like, why they're sourcing at all, because I was like, hey, your products. I mean, I don't love their product. That's why I'm not naming names, but I mean, they make pretty decent product. Like, it's not the best in my opinion, but it's also not horrible. So I'm like, why are you guys sourcing? Because like, there's the source material that they're using isn't really great either. But it's basically because they didn't produce enough to sell the amount that they are selling. So they're having to blend in some stuff to sell the amount of units that they're going through. Which I don't know if I would do that as a producer, but I bet that's kind of what they're doing. This is a yearly even that Sagamore runs when they give out chances to get their own right. Okay. Man, I want to get that then. Yeah, I want some Sagamore spirits juice. This smells sweet but also nutty. It's so strange. Like, it's like this like really sweet cotton candy, but then there's this bit of like nuttiness as well as a little bit of like an anise flavor. Like that black licorice. Yeah, it's like caramelized peanuts. Kind of almost like a payday bar, but not quite there. It's sweeter than a payday bar. It's so strange. Like, it's this earthy nuttiness, but then this really nice, bright, fluffy sweetness that is really bright and like in your face. Like, it is luxuriously bold. Yeah, a little bit of like a red fruit note as well. Mm. Yeah, that is so sweet, but also like has this like cinnamony black licorice candy store vibe going on. Give a yell to either Dusty Dan or 21090 to see they might send a sample of some of. Okay, thank you, Sugar Kitty. Thank you. Yeah, I wish Arizona had better. I don't want to say better because I work for an Arizona distillery and I think our stuff is fantastic. But I wish Arizona had like some of the distilleries that are like beloved, at least in like the communities we work in, because there's so many cool beloved distilleries I want to visit, and I would love to be close by enough to like grab their limited stuff, but we just don't have anything like that here in Arizona. I mean, this is sweet, fruity, little bit of this earthy nuttiness as well. I'll be honest, for 85 bucks, this is not super exciting. I'm a little let down. It's just like overly like sweet and candied. Like the redeeming thing about we'll bring up, for example, going to Barrel. The redeeming thing with their seagrass was like it was bright and like vegetal and like sharp and kind of like fun, but then like candied. And this is just very sweet and candy with a little bit of like a cinnamony, nutty spice going on. But it's like very much so like there's a black licorice and then there's like a caramel candy. Sweet, nice little bit of a red fruity note. Actually, I'm also getting a bit of a pear as well. But like it's not a bad whiskey. I'm not trying to like crap on it or say it is bad, but it's not something I would spend $85 on. 84.99. Like that is, and that's on the low end because that's buying it from then. You know, if you find it in a store, it's going to be 90 to 95. Eric Gunderson, cheers. Nice to see you, man. How are you doing? Do you experience a larger loss in barrels due to the very low humidity as opposed to the more humid places like Kentucky or Tennessee? Yeah, yeah, that and the heat. Like our barrel loss, like our angel share is pretty hefty, but also where Kentucky will typically age their stuff 4, 5, 6 years old. We're more like 2 or 3. So there's a trade-off. I think in the long run, barrel to barrel, like our average barrel compared to their average barrel, we're probably having the same amount of angel share. There's just different impacts. Like our oak comes in quicker, but we don't get that oxidization where their oak takes longer to impact, but they get a really good oxidization with it sitting in the barrel for longer. So again, there's trade-offs. Things are a little bit punchier here in, Arizona, Southwest, Texas, things of that nature, but they're not as much in Kentucky. And it also depends on the barrel you use, because we typically use about 30s. Yeah, 30-gallon barrels because they fit on our racks better. We can fit more in one rack with the racks we're using, as well as it's just kind of the standard. I think it's where our profiles build the best. Oh yeah, no, 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 Peter. This is again, I should before I bring any of this stuff up. I love Barrel. I think Barrel is fantastic. I mean, yeah, obviously they send me stuff and I'm like super grateful for all of that stuff. They sent me some bourbons. Actually, two of my favorite bourbons from this year so far have been their batch 34 and 35. I really, really enjoyed both of those. And they sent me one of the bottles and then they sent me a sample of the other one, and I bought a bottle based off of it. They sent me a sample of Barrel Vantage. I bought the bottle. Like I really like Barrel. I love that they're experimenting and doing different things. This Tale of Two Islands, though, I think it's a little just okay for them. Like I expect a little bit more from Barrel. But yeah, I do like that they're experimenting. I do very much so enjoy that. Yeah, because yeah, man, if they barrel aged batch 35 in a rum barrel, that would be worth $90 because batch 35 is worth $90 to begin with. That thing is a monster of a bottle. I have barrel number 2, 32, 33, 34, and 35, and Vantage 33 is my favorite, but 35 is growing on me. I never had 33 off the top of my head. I have a majority of their stuff. So I got Dovetail, I got Seagrass, I got Vantage. Um, I'm probably going to try to get my hands on this Barrell Cask finish one, but we'll get into that right now. Let me finish up this one. I think this is a bottle I would suggest try before you buy. Do I think this is a bad product? No. For me, it's a little bit too light and on that candied side. I like a more aggressive bourbon. I like things that are spicier, maybe even punchier, where this one, it's very on that sweet candied side, which is probably why I don't like a lot of rum finished bourbons, because I want things to be a little bit more exciting. I really like rum finished ryes, and the one single malt I have that's rum finished, I really, really enjoy. But as far as bourbons go, I think you already have enough sweetness. You don't really need to put it in a barrel that's going to pull out more sweetness. Overall, not a bad bottle per se. Like if it was free, I would, but I would rather try before you buy because, I think it's a good whiskey, but I would rather pay like 55, $60 for it instead of 85. Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy that. It's good, but it's not like $85 good. I feel like too many things are $85 nowadays where they should be 65. I am not the biggest fan of Dovetail. You see, I like Dovetail better than this. Interesting. Watched a review a couple days ago that raved about the Tale of Two Islands, to each their own. Yeah, you see, again, everyone has their own type of things. Angel's Envy Rye is gooey sweet though. Yeah, that is. But too much. That's like a double oaked whiskey type thing. Yeah, the Tale of Two Island, it's not my jam. I could be the anomaly here and like the weird one and whatever, but I don't know. I wasn't super impressed with it when I tried it the other day, and you know, I'm not really impressed with it now. So that just kind of confirmed my suspicions. But the one I was a little impressed with the other day, and this could also be because I'm a sucker for Amburana finish stuff, but cask finish series, Amburana. This bad bama jamma. Now let's get into it, because this is the card I didn't have the other day because I forgot to bring it. So I want to. Barrel Bourbon is Oloroso finished M&J pick. Oh. I don't think I ever had a finished pick from them. I don't think I own a single pick from them. There is a pick on their website that is like, it is like 40 or like 30% like over 14 years old, which, I mean, they do use a lot of Dickel. So like, 14-year-old Dickel is like, it's a little less exciting, but from a statistic or like a number standpoint, I'm like, man, I want to pull the trigger on that. Okay, let's get into this. An intense baking spice character centered around cinnamon fills every nook and cranny. Oh, wow, this is all just tasting notes. Okay, yeah, we don't need that. Indiana bourbon whiskeys. This is going to be 5, 6, 7, and 10-year-old MGP. And then this is going to be 5-year-old Kentucky bourbon as well. Derived mash bill is going to be 75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% malted barley. Is that the same as... Oh, no. So a little bit more corn on this one compared to rye going from the next one. I feel like it had a better description on the back. Blend of 2 mash bills with different char levels finish in Amburana cask. A vatting of individual casks without finishing was layered in to add depth, richness, and complexity, ensuring the bourbon shines through. First and foremost, blended to never blend in. Well, let's get into it. Yeah. Having your own palate isn't weird. It's just going with the crowd is. Yeah. I mean, not every whiskey is meant for everybody, and vice versa, Oh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, short and stout. I want to drink you all night long. Yeah, I mean, this is Amburana finish, so like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's why I honestly, so right now I got this is the only other Amburana cask finished bottle I have, and this is also MGP. So MGP, it's 112.8, where this one is 116.42, and I want to compare them because I think that would be fun. Because this smells like straight up like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but it's a little bit less on that like cinnamony side on the nose. Like I'm getting a lot more of like a sugary, like instead of being a 50-50 cinnamon and sugar, it's more of like a 2/3 sugar. It's smelling much sweeter, but still packed with cinnamon. So much cinnamon on this. And let's just drink right into it. Oh, that cinnamon comes in, that sugar. Yeah, I'm a buy on this one. I don't even need I already kind of tasted it beforehand, but that's, again, reason why I pulled this out, because I think this is a little bit more where I want to compare things, because without comparing it, I'm a buy on this. I love, again, You have to love Barrell Cask finish bottles because this very much so turns hard right into that Barrell cinnamon toast crunch stuff going on. But it is sweet, sugary, cinnamony, a little bit of an like cinnamon roasted almond nuttiness. It's just good. Like honestly, it reminds me so much of this Doc Swinson's, which is one of my favorite bottles I've purchased this year. I mean, I've bought 2 so far, so $85. This is an $80 bottle. This barrel is $85. So in my opinion, they're kind of like same price. So what's the taste look like? So let's pour it and compare. Yeah, jail. Literally some of my it's one of those finishings where it's kind of more the finishing than the actual whiskey shines through. I mean, within reason, obviously, you can't put a dumpster fire of a whiskey in this and probably turn it out good because I've only ever had good whiskey in these. But man, it just takes on that cinnamon toast crunch. All right. In my hand right now, we have the Bossa Nova by Doc Swinson's. Ooh, that's cinnamon toast crunchy. Ooh, this one's actually more on the cinnamony side. Yeah, it's more nutty and that cinnamon. It has that like more of an almond and more of a cinnamon. Well, this one's a little bit brighter on the nose. Huh. I'm excited. I'm excited because I'm in case if you've been watching the channel for a while now, you know I really like this Bossa Nova bottle. And this just smells like same but different, but still same. But I kind of like the barrel one a little bit more. They're definitely cut from the same cloth. Like some of the most same but different, but still same cloth. Like it is literally cinnamon toast crunch finished MGP. Yeah, this is more of a burnt sugar, I guess that's the best way to call it. Burnt sugar. A friend in Western New York grabbed me a store pick of rare character rye Amburana fish. Oh, that sounds fantastic. I'm loving this new Amburana craze. Like Amburanas, I'm all into it. RD1 Amburana uses stays instead of Amburana barrels. It is not an overwhelmingly. Dave, I would love to try some of that stuff. That sounds fantastic. Yeah, because that is my only negative side with these Amburanas is because like I'm trying to compare these two right now and they both just smell like cinnamon toast crunch. Like they're differing varies of cinnamon toast crunch, but it's like a cinnamon toast crunch whiskey. Like if someone told me it's like, yeah, we distilled whiskey from cinnamon toast crunch and we barrel aged it for a hot minute and then bottled it and this is it, I would be like, yeah, that tracks. Which is weird because there's no way if you distilled cinnamon toast crunch it would come out half as cinnamon toast crunchy as this does. Sweet. Ooh, a little bit of almost like a stone fruity characteristic on that pour. And that right now I'm drinking the barrel too. So yeah, a little bit of a stone fruity, like almost like a, not quite a peach, but it's like maybe a plum, like it's on its way there. Oh man, both of these just smell fantastic. Ooh, that's more cinnamony on the palate. The Doc Swinson's is more cinnamony. Man, these are both really good. Yeah, where the barrel, it is more sweet, but also has a dimension that I don't get on the Doc Swinson's Bossa Nova, which is a fruitiness, that stone fruitiness. And I'm going to run it back really quickly. and say that like stone fruitiness, that's definitely a peach. Like it's like cinnamon toast crunch with a little bit of peaches now. Do you have a channel email I can get in, send new symbols? Yeah, it should be tipsywhiskeyshenanigans@gmail.com. Here, it should be down below. I typically, here, I'll just put it in chat. Tipsy whiskey shenanigans and yeah, you gotta compartmentalize everything, because if you don't, then I start like getting emails from work to the YouTube channel, and then I start getting personal emails to the YouTube channel, and then I'm checking the YouTube channel to get personal stuff done, and then I end up working on things for the YouTube channel, or vice versa with work. So you got to compartmentalize things and be like, yeah, I'm not going to open up my emails until I'm ready to work for that, vice versa. Man, I can't decide which one I like better, because they're both really, really good. I would say the Bossa Nova is way more cinnamon toast crunchiness on the palate, but also the Barrell has that whole other dimension with that stone fruitiness. Oh, yeah, I already read that. Grab the Bossa Nova because Amy and you liked. What did you think about it, David? And by the way, that is my email. Ooh. Yeah, and the more this barrel sits in the glass, the more fruity it gets. Ah, my indigestion. Yeah. Yeah, that is good. Yeah, I really enjoy that. Stone fruity, cinnamon, sugar. It's like a brown sugary burnt, like it's like a caramelized sugar. I guess that's a good way to put it. I found love for Doc Swinson single barrels. I grabbed one anytime I see them now. Yeah, dude, they're good. Yeah, and I should also add, like, Doc Swenson's is literally a ridiculous knock out of the park. So if I can compare you to Doc Swenson's for a similar price, and you're at least standing toe to toe with him, you're doing something right, because Doc Swenson's is out of this park with value and quality, especially with these exploratory casks. Like I think these are the best value and quality you're getting for like blended barrel aged finished product from like, or MGP, I guess I should say, from Doc Swenson's, or I guess from MGP through Doc Swenson's is a good way to put it. Oh man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it the Doc Swenson's though. I think I like the Doc Swenson's just a smidge more because of that peppery spice, or not peppery spice, that cinnamony like baking spice. As I've said previously, I'm a huge fan of those, darker type notes and characteristics, and the Doc Swenson's just has a little bit more of that. Not so much on the nose. It's so weird. The barrel's darker on the nose, but lighter on the palate, and the Doc Swenson's is lighter on the nose, more sugary, and then more of like a burnt sugar, and then on the palate, it's more of that cinnamony spice, which, I mean, both really, really good. And they're so close, like same but different, but still same. I guess that's the best way I could describe it, which is kind of a cop-out way of describing it, but I can't think of a better way to describe it, because they are very, very similar, but also different at the same time. So let me drink this. And then I want to compare it to Vantage, Barrel Vantage. I really liked Barrel Vantage. I mean, again, they sent me a sample and I bought my own bottle. And that's why this bottle's not very largely drinking, because I had 100 milliliters to go through before this. And I haven't really pulled it out in a while. So, one, it's been a while since I've touched it, but I want to compare this bad boy to the Barrel Amberana Cask finished, because I thought the Amberana Cask finished was basically going to blow my mind, which it didn't blow my mind, but that's just because I know what to expect with the Bossa Nova. But I think this might be my favorite. Like if Barrel creates a core line where it's like Vantage is their Mizunara toasted oak one, Dovetail is their, it's finishing all sorts of whatever, you know what I mean, like a core line or like a mainstay version of this. This could be like Barrel's best offering that's just like readily available shelfer for $85 that's finishing Amberana casks. Like, count me in. Golly, that is so freaking good. I could sit here and drink high proof whiskey all freaking night. I'd be so hungover tomorrow. And I gotta go make agave tomorrow. I'm gonna run the still at like 6 a.m. or something. You know, what are you gonna do? Life is life. God. Ooh, Vantage smells nice. Ducks. Ooh, that's gonna be hard for me to pronounce. I have a Ducks one's under L'Esprit. L'Esprit. Butchering that. Bourbon cognac finished. Bourbon finishing cognac, I'm assuming. 114.7 on the way to me already. Have the alter ego. Yeah, Peter, by the way, I finally got the triple mash, the cash drink triple mash this year, like earlier this year. Man, oh man. So freaking good. Ugh, like out of this world good. Yeah, this is dangerous for being 116.42 proof. That'll mess me up. Yeah, Sugar Kitty. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. The fun thing about this is we're going to end up mesquite smoking it. So I'm really excited about that, because that was kind of my brain baby, if you will. So I kind of created the whole concept, and I mean, not really. I just stole it from Mezcal, but I think it's going to be a fun variation, if you will. Oh, I don't know. Barrel Vantage is also, dang, this is good. Finish in Mizunara, French, and toasted American oak. That's where that is. That's the French oak spiciness kicking in. When it goes down the wrong way. Oh, the heartburn. Sometimes the whiskey just kind of goes down the wrong way. That was that. Ow, freak, that hurts. The hurts and sads. The only Dachshund is currently on the shelf and in the glass is El Cuerpo PX finished bourbon. Excellent. Yeah, I have a bottle of that as well, and I really, really enjoy that. Oh man, dude, that just wrecked my soul. It took a sideways path through my body, not in a good way. I think I'm giving it to the Amberana Cask finish, Doc Swenson's, over Vantage, which I love Vantage. And I loved Vantage when I reviewed it. I loved it when I, had the end of the year blind with it. I really, really enjoyed it, but this is incredible. Mm. Yeah, it starts off super fruity and then goes to that more toasted spicy. And then this is way more like it's cinnamon toast crunch and then fades off very nicely, like very sweet and enjoyable. Yeah. Well, that's cinnamon toast crunch. Nice stone fruit characteristics as well. I like that. That is dangerous for 116.42 proof, which could explain why I'm feeling a little tipsy. Or because I also drank a bunch of gin before this. But you know, you gotta do work when you gotta do work. If I go down the wrong way a few times, it was brutal. Yeah, that kind of hurt. I don't like doing it in front of camera because then, oh my god, oh geez, I need to sleep. Need bourbon with a Gaviscon. Ooh, you need bourbon with a Gaviscon finish. What kind of is that? Like a wine? Is that like a different kind of oak? Can you elaborate on what that is? I guess we can look it up. Let's do this. Let's see. Gavin. Oh, Gavis. Scone. No. Dude, I hate myself so much right now. Thanks, Peter, for making me feel super freaking stupid. What the hell? I don't have enough brain cells right now to deal with your sarcasm or whatever that is. I'm so pissed at myself right now. Oh man, dude, that smoke wagon drink's literally like sweet apple water compared to the rest of these. No, not surprising as it should, but god damn. Thank you, JL. You're making me feel a little bit better. But Jesus Christ. Yeah, I literally was about to share my screen. I'm so glad I didn't because I was working on sharing my screen so I could then go Google it, which would have been so much worse. Oh my god. I think this takes the cake for stupidest shit I've done, said, experienced in all of live streaming. And I've done and said a bunch of stupid stuff, typically on other people's channels, because sometimes they get a little bit more loose on other people's channels and mine because, you know, some people have a little bit looser rules. I'd like to keep myself monetized, if you know what I mean, because every little bit helps. You know, an extra $5 here or there is an extra $5 towards my crippling whiskey collection. So, but yeah, dang. Is it, well, I feel like I've just been defeated right now. Like, Peter, that was a good one. I mean, I'm sure I made it easy, but like, you got me good. You got me good. I'm broken right now. I don't know where to go from here. I don't know what to do with my hands. Okay. Let's recenter. Okay. Whiskey. Overall, thoughts. Tale of Two Islands, I think is pretty good. I would pay like 60, 65-ish dollars for it. This Barrell Cask finish, I think is, oh, excuse me, really good. I would definitely pay the 85 for it. Actually, ooh, you know what we should do? I mean, I don't know if it's going to do anything, but I would love to... Oh, here we go. Give me a sec. Behind the scenes of doing head-to-heads. Would like to do a head-to-head with these two different bottles, but a blind head-to-head, which means I gotta put these stickers on the bottoms of these. Oh, geez Louise. All right. We're gonna make this one A. My Sharpie's almost out. B. And got to stick on the bottom an extra sticker just so when the light reflects, I can't see through it, because not that you guys would have seen it, but in past blinds, I've tried doing like a head-to-head blind using this method, and the light reflection. Sometimes I've seen like, oh, I'm drinking from glass A. Well, I'm trying not to figure out which one's which and just trying to like compare them against each other. So I want to use this as a testing bed. I'm going to put Barrell Cask finished in A because I think it's freaking awesome. And then inside of B, we're going to put the Tale of Two Islands because I think it's but not bad. Bad's not fair. I don't know, because that's all I got left. Okay. Roughly the same amounts, maybe a little bit too much in there. Okay. All right, let me get caught up, and then we will talk about these a little bit more. All right. So it's early and really early where you are. Yeah, it is like I shouldn't be having these kinds of mistakes. I am a little out of it and tired and yawning for some odd freaking reason. It's been a weird week where it's like I haven't necessarily been working significantly too much. I mean, I haven't really had a day off in like 2 weeks, but I haven't really like each day like hasn't been like, oh, I've been working like 12-hour days nonstop. There's been like relatively like 8-9 hour days, but like I'm not sleeping well recently for some odd reason, and it's sucking so much. That's the worst thing ever for me. Like I think my kryptonite is not getting good sleep. It's not necessarily enough sleep, but I just need like 7 hours of good sleep, and I haven't been getting that somehow. Not for the lack of trying, I'm just not sleeping good. Need a cat nap real bad. Dude, no, cat naps mess me up. The cat naps only work for cats. Like everybody else I know, literally if they sleep in the middle of the day, like, dude, I'm done for the rest of the day. Like, you're getting nothing out of me. Not a single anything. All right, let's mess these Batman pajamas up. Twirl them. Whirl them. I'm going to try to hold one there. No, I'm going to break something and somehow get whiskey on my laptop. Yeah, 8 to 9 hour days are... Oh, jeez, I almost dropped that. Yeah, I mean, they're not for nothing. Okay, I'm pretty sure a blind of these is gonna mean nothing because that Amberana cask finish is just so tale-telling, but I kinda wanna see, am I wrong? Am I just rating up this Amberana because I really like Amberana cask finish? Or am I downgrading the Tale of Two Islands because it's not Amberana cask finished? I don't know. Let's get into it. Starting off with this. Oh, that smells fantastic. That smells fantastic. I'm far too drunk. I should not have shot all those whiskeys when I figured out what antacid tablets are because I'm not sober right now, which I don't love reviewing things not sober. This is sweet, easy, approachable. This one's the Amberana cask finish though, because it has that cinnamon. That cinnamon is just incredible. On the nose, it's incredible. It's not so much the nose that I'm looking at though. It's the palate, because the palate on this one's more on that fruity side than that cinnamon bomb that I was getting. So ooh, that has this like almost like a, oh, that tracks now that I think about it. So recently, one of you guys said I should buy a Smith and Cross rum, and I did. I bought it for like 35 bucks. 115 proof. That has a note that I got on it. It's like this burnt sugarcane thing. Like it's burnt sugarcane where it's like this stone fruity burnt sugarcane thing. That is, man, I actually like the Tale of Two Islands now that I have like a, oh, maybe I'm just too drunk to like not dislike anything either. It'd be like that. That's why y'all are still watching, because it's turning into a shit show, and some people like that. Oh man, I think I might have been wrong about the Tale of Two Islands. I might be a buy on this bad boy. I mean, I'm so on the fence. This better be Tale of Two Islands, because if it's not, it's so, the nose isn't as exciting, but the palate is really, really decent. Like, not decent, but it's like really, it's super fruity, really sweet, nice candied, has this nice like caramelized peanut brittle, like this caramel candies with like peanuts. Not quite payday. The payday ratios are off, where it's more like 3/4 caramel and 1/4 peanuts. So like the inverse of a payday, because I feel like paydays are more like a boatload of peanuts and a little bit of caramel. This is like the inverse of it. Man, the nose on the Amarana cask finish blows it out of the water though. It's just that Amberana, that like cinnamon sugary wood, like is ridiculous. Nope. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah. Had me going there for a sec. Had me going there for a sec. The Amarana cask is so freaking good compared to it. So good. That is out of this world. Where's my mouse? There we go. Smith and Cross is around 114 proof, bartender's dream for mixed drinks. Okay. Yeah. So for me, it was like this like funky burnt sugar thing. Like it was good, but it was so weird, and maybe I might just not be a rum guy, because I'll be honest, like I said previously, I was at a distillers event, and there is some distiller in Arizona. Oh man, I don't love doing this public because there's like only one. Okay. Arizona rums. I tried like 3 or 4 variations of them this month, or this last weekend, this Sunday, I tried quite a few of them. I'll be honest, I didn't really enjoy much of any of them. Like there were some I enjoyed more than others, but none that I enjoyed to the point where I wanted to buy a bottle of rum. So I might just not be a rum guy. Like I might just try to be forcing myself into rum. Like the only rum so far I'm aware that I've like really enjoyed is the one we currently have in cask, but I am so biased with anything we release that I don't trust myself with like talking to you all about it. Like there's a difference between my brand ambassador identity and work related me and the me, we'll call it two identities. There's that me, and then there's the tipsy whiskey shenanigans me. The tipsy whiskey shenanigans me just likes to stay away from all my work stuff because I don't trust myself entirely, because I'm too worried that I'm going to be biased, because I really enjoy a lot of the stuff we produce, which I did before we worked for us, but now I'm like hypersensitive and aware that maybe it's just because I have a line in creating the product, so now I care a lot. Who the heck knows? I don't know. Man, that was a weird tangent. Sorry, guys. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. But like I said, I've had a few drinks. Oh, by the way, we should also check. Not Bossa Nova. David Bass, you just messed me up. Or, well, the alcoholism messed me up, and then you helped. So this, I definitely like the Barrell Cask finished one better than the Tale of Two. What is this stuff? Tale of Two Islands. I don't know. I'm just not super impressed with it. And again, I might be lowballing it a little bit because it's kind of more of I would pay what I want for it. And a lot of the stuff nowadays is a little bit more than I want. To ruin a video I'm releasing Friday a little bit. I just got both the Little Book Chapter 7 and the Four Roses, what is it? Single barrel. I mean, you guys can probably see it up there. I think, yeah, that bottle should be it, but it's a Four Roses single barrel proof pick. My first Four Roses pick. I've been wanting one for the longest time, and I found both of those for around like the 120, 125 range, somewhere around there. I would have preferred to pay 110 for them. Not that I dislike any of them, but like, man, whiskey's just getting expensive. So I might be out of line for saying that this is not worth it, but kind of defaulting to a rather safe than sorry mode, I'd rather you all try it before you buy it. I'm not going to suggest anything I'm not 100% behind. So I'm going to say I would pay $65 for it, 65, be willing to go to 170, maybe 175 if you really like rum cask finished bourbons. But like I said, I don't think rum cask finished bourbons is really all like where the hype is. So I don't know. I just think this is a smidge more money than I would want to pay for it. That being said, the Barrell Cask finish one, as long as you like that Barrell cinnamon toast crunchy thing going on, this is out of the world. Like, this is fantastic. It's great. This and Bossa Nova, if you see either of them, buy them. If you see both of them, buy both of them. Like, the Barrell Cask finish stuff is just really good. If you see any other label with Barrell Cask finished, honestly, my perspective, as long as it's not ridiculously priced, buy that stuff because they're super good. I know somebody, I forgot who it was, mentioned that they bought a rye that's finished in Barrell casks. I bet that's incredible as well. Honestly, I bet that's probably better than bourbon finished in Barrell casks. So to kind of summarize everything, because I kind of started drunkenly ranting at some point, the Barrell cask finished, I'm a buy on it. Don't hesitate, just freaking buy it. You can buy it online right now from Barrell as well for $85. The only issue, free shipping over $99, which implies it's making me want to either find somebody else who wants to buy the bottle as well so we can, get free shipping, or I need to buy 2 bottles. I don't really know what other bottle I would need to buy, so I'm kind of like, I don't no. And then the Tale of Two Islands, I'd like to try before you buy. I don't think you're missing out on not buying it if you don't find it to try. But again, your call. If you really like rum finished bourbons, I say buy it. But me personally, I'm not gonna buy it. But I'm gonna buy one, maybe two of the Barrell Cask finished. I don't know. I'm kind of a little bit too poor right now to be buying 2 bottles, especially with my work's single barrel for the veterans single barrel release program thing we're doing that I'm creating and 100% backing myself. So I'm gonna buy a few of those bottles myself because it's kind of my baby, my heart and soul. So I'm super invested into that. So I need to allocate some of my own personal money there. So, it's not because I don't love the bottle, it's just because I don't have enough money to be spending on all the bourbons I want to buy. Waiting for LB7 to hit Ontario, takes those government clowns. Yeah, dude, the government's such a freaking joke. I can't stand the government, even though I still work for them. I just work for them at a lesser capacity than I used to. But yeah, the government's such a freaking joke. Whiskey has and is out of control dollars, but people still buying, and I'm still way more selective now. Yeah, I'm being way more selective with any of the single barrels, or not single barrels, but like the limited edition stuff I purchase. Again, I've been, not to bring it back to my work, which I feel like I'm having a hard time right now because I keep on bringing it up, but like I've been buying a lot more local stuff than anything else. And that's not saying just my work per se. It's been a lot more of just local Arizona distillery type stuff. Because again, I want to support local people for one, and for two, like I feel like the limited edition tax and the craft tax has kind of balanced each other out, where like a lot of like the limited stuff from a lot of these distilleries costs about the same as it would for the craft tax nowadays. So it's like, man, it's like the upside to buying from a big reputable well-known distillery isn't as much as it used to be anymore nowadays, when everybody's releasing these insane cash strength stuff. Like, what is that Stag bundle that they're releasing where it's like their old-timey designs, but instead they're just releasing like basically Stag, or what I assume like Stag and Weller barrels, but with an old-timey label, and they're charging I think like $2,000 for like 8 375s, which sounds like 4 750s. So they're selling each 750 for like 200, or no, not math hard, $500 a bottle, which is insane. That's freaking out of control. Like, I spent some decent amount of money on whiskey. I own a lot of bottles of whiskey, primarily bourbon, primarily American whiskeys. Like, I own a fair bit of American single malts because I do really, really enjoy those. I own a fair bit of rye. I do, a majority of my collection is in fact bourbons because, there's a lot of value in bourbon, or at least was a lot of value in bourbon. That being said, like a lot of things have just gotten really out of control, and I will never, ever spend over $200 on a bottle of whiskey ever again. At least like nowadays, unless if inflation gets out of control and my income becomes ridiculously skyrocketed, I ain't spending nowhere near $200 on a bottle of whiskey. I think I pretty much draw the line at like 125. Like 125 is like my peak of like, this is the most I'm spending on one single bottle. And that doesn't happen very often. Yeah. Eric, what were we talking about? Sorry, I don't know. Shop sticks it, and negative ghostwriter, never had the pleasure, but my local shop sticks it and I need to grab it. Okay, David Bass. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I'm gonna backtrack. Guys, at this point I'm a little drunk, so I do apologize. Eric Anderson, have you had Amarana before? Okay, yeah, no, Eric, definitely go check that out. Definitely go do it. I think it's an experience at a minimum. Like maybe you buy the bottle, you don't enjoy it, send it my way. I'll enjoy the hell out of it. Probably. There's been a few bottles where I'm like, dude, there's no way I'm not gonna like this. And I tried and I'm like, I don't like this. So like, but yeah, send it my way. I'll enjoy it. I'll enjoy the heck out of it. PX. Oh, sorry, you guys are texting back and forth. Sorry. I apologize. Takeaways from this. Barrell is an awesome company. I really, really enjoy some of the stuff they do. I don't love everything they do, but I think if there was a company out there where I loved everything they do, I would be a sham or a shill, whatever you want to call it. Like the two companies in the business of blending that I really enjoy have made an appearance on this channel today. It's been Barrell and Doc Swinson's. Barrell's a little bit more of a premium product. Doc Swinson's is a little bit less of a premium product. Not every release from both of those labels or themes. I really, really love everything. Like a lot of the Doc Swinson's stuff. Oh, geez, I almost broke that. A lot of the Doc Swinson stuff that is their rye barrels, I don't really enjoy. Some of the barrel stuff I haven't really enjoyed. Recently, I've been loving the heck out of everything they have produced, but just like everything, you don't love everything out there. So the Tale of Two Islands, where I think it is a good product, I think it's a little bit overpriced. And then the Amarana Cask, anything Amarana Cask finish, freaking buy it. It's freaking fantastic. That being said, I don't really have much else to bring up, so I'm gonna kind of turn it over to you guys, as I do for a majority of my live streams. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything you guys want to bring up, any bottles you're drinking right now, or anything, literally anything under the sun. That's the reason chat exists in the first place. Let me know. I will answer any questions. Like, I don't care. At this point, I'm a little intoxicated, so like we can let this SOB run so far off the rails. I'm kind of here for it right now, if we're being honest. Like, let's get weird, or let's wrap this up. There's one of two options here. Things are either gonna get weird or we're gonna wrap it up. Dude, holy heck. Okay, I'm gonna modify my answers a little bit. God, that's freaking ridiculous. Okay, roughly, and I say roughly because this is like the roughest eyeball-y measurements possible. The Tale of Two Islands blended with the Amarana Cask finish is better than the source products. Maybe, oh dude, I might buy both of the bottles and treat it as an infinity bottle and just kind of, this is whatever blend ratio, which is so, I'm going to watch the video back tomorrow morning when I'm sobered up and stuff. But this, the 50-50 blend of both of these samples, out of this world good. It's fruity, cinnamony, sweet. Like it is, it's a little bit diabetic forward. As by that, I mean it's a little sugary, sweet forward, but I kind of do like sweet whiskeys from time to time. Sagamore is generally speaking. Yeah, Sagamore, they're my go-to for like rye blendings, but for bourbon blendings, I'm going Doc Swinson's and Barrell. I think Doc Swinson's and Barrells do the best with bourbon. American single malt is something very interesting, and I'm going to reread that. American single malt is something very interested in. Okay. I thought for a sec I was like reading things like wrong. Okay, yeah, no, I love American single malts. I wish more people produced them, and I wish people were more into it, because I'm not gonna lie, I do create a little bit more bourbon content than I wish I did, just because people are more interested in it. And like I've mentioned, there's a bit of a businessy aspect with making these YouTube videos is, anything with bourbon gets more views. Anything with more views makes me a little bit more money, which allows me to buy a little bit more whiskey, whether that do be an American single malt or other. But yeah, American single malts are exciting, and I really need to start making like a video about American single malts once a month. But I also don't want to let that get stale, because American single malts are like, they're not the cool hip thing to talk about, but they're getting there, and I really like it because I think American single malts are super freaking great. Maybe Beam shouldn't produce one because the Clemson, whatever, Clearmont Steep is but a lot of the craft distilleries are kind of doing a really good job. And that's also another note I really love about American single malts is, one, it's not the cool hip thing to do. So a lot of people who really like them, it's because they actually really like them. And it highlights a lot of local craft, whether from state to state to state, but it highlights more craft distilleries. Cheers, man. Nice to see you. We're going to wrap this up in a second anyways, because, again, I'm kind of running off the rails a little bit by myself. That is so good. It's sweet, fruity cotton candy, cinnamony. Ooh, that cinnamon kicked in at a nice point too. Oh man, I wish I didn't experience that, because that might be another bottle I need to buy now. All right, we're gonna wrap this SOB up. I just got a McCarthy 6-year PX finished single malt. It blew me away. It is good, 112 proof, and peaty goodness. McCarthy's. I don't know if I've had any McCarthy stuff. Probably have, but maybe I haven't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't own a bottle. That's for sure, I know. But whatever, a 6-year-old PX finished single malt. Depends how peated it is, but everything you said kind of still gets me excited, even with the words peaty. I like smoke, but I don't necessarily like peaty smoke as much. Although, there's a bottle. Actually, I feel like I have to do a public service announcement on this. Because these are kind of exciting. Not in the world of American single malt. This isn't American single malt related. This is Scotch related, but I feel like this is such an underrated thing. Virginia Mountain Mama. Virginia Distilling Company is making some nice single malts. Yeah, no, up there are two Virginia Distilling Company. One that's cognac finished. Oh, wait, no. One is sherry finish and one is Cuvée. It's Cuvee finished. They're both really good. They're going to be in the end of the year blind because they're single barrel picks I got this year. I can't confirm whether they were or were not from this year because they were in like the first third of the year, but I don't care. They're going to be in the blind. Yeah, David Bass. I'm so glad you come and hang out every single night, whatever. Night. Cheers, John. So, PSA, really quickly before I wrap this up. Battle Hill. If you've ever seen this label before, it's like Total Wine exclusive bottling. At least I should asterisk all this. This is from my understanding, and I'm also slightly intoxicated, so take that as you will again. But Battle Hill, basically, these are kind of like non-distilling producers through Total Wine, or at least the only place I've seen their bottles is through Total Wine. But basically, they source Scotch on the cheap. So this is the only bottle I have. I just recently bought it. My friend Jordan, who will actually be on this channel from time to time, hopefully in the future, fingers crossed. He's out of town right now, so that's why he's not here. But actually last week he was supposed to be here, and He's part of the reason why these samples were a little bit empty when we started. But either which way, he turned me on to these. These are from like Total Wines, basically, and they source from a lot of reputable like Scotch creators to create these little, bottlings of it. So, for example, this one is from Bunnahabhain, which this is my first Bunnahabhain bottle, and that's the reason I bought it. A bottle of Bunnahabhain that's 7 years old, and it is, let's see here. So it's a 7-year-old, 52% ABV Bunnahabhain peated Isla Scotch for like $32. Such a freaking steal. He has some stuff that's like up in the 20s age year range in these bottlings. So like literally like they just kind of NDP produce some scotches that's honestly, it's all pretty solid. Like I tried probably 4 or 5 different bottles from him, and I really liked all of them. And they're all great. Like this for a 7-year-old peated scotch for $32, this is out of this world great. So if you live near Total Wine and you're into scotch, I would definitely check these out. And I do love the fact that they have the transparency where they say distilled at, the age, they have the ABV, they have, roughly about as much information as you would get on top of that from any other bottle. But I do love the fact that you can know where they're distilled at, or like which distillery distilled them, the ABV, the age. Like it's just awesome. They're like kind of, we'll take it as like a weird, they're definitely not single barrels, because this is one of, it also tells you how many bottles of it is. So this is one of 3,000 bottles. So I don't know what the angel share in Scotland is, but from like a 53-gallon cask here in Arizona, aged for 3 years, even in an exfil cask, we get about 250 bottles. So let's say maybe they get we'll say 300 bottles per 53-gallon cask, aged 7 years. That means this is a blend of like anywhere from 9 to 11, maybe 12 barrels of scotch. So lower size blends and stuff. I don't know. Cool. This is such a weird tangent to go on to after this live stream, but yeah. So they're cool independent bottler. And I don't know. I like the fact that they're highlighting the age, the distillery it's coming from. It's cool. And the fact that it's $32, like there's not a lot of sweat on my back if I don't like this bottle compared to a lot of the other single malts. Like if I bought a Bunnahabhain bottle, I'm in the can $80, where this bottle I bought for $30, and it showed me that I do enjoy the Bunnahabhain flavor profile, and I wouldn't be against buying a higher quality rendition of this product, because again, this is only a 7-year-old product. I would like to see their stuff at a more like understandable product, like age statement for Scotland, like 12 to 15 years old at the same ABV. I think their stuff will be freaking incredible. And also, yeah, because they weren't like knock out of the park. So this bottle's not knock out of the park smoky or peaty. And as it ages, you lose that smoky peatiness. So I don't know. Again, long story rant over. I think it's really, really exciting and really, really good. Kavalan, 13-year virgin oak that produces. I have a Kavalan 13-year virgin oak that produced 77 bottles. Yeah, okay, yeah, that can attract. So virgin oak, 13 years old. Kavalan, what is that? Is that Israel? Yeah, you see, that's kind of what I use this as. I was like, because so full disclosure, it's normally like a $45 bottle, but I got it for like 32 because Total Wine just randomly discounted it as well. So again, I was able to be like, hey, people have said a lot about Bunnahabhain. I want to check them out. Taiwan. Okay. 70. That's, yeah. I mean, even then, like, Buna 12 cash strength is one I have been looking for. Yeah. That's one I have my sights set on it, which for me, the only reason I don't have a lot of scotch is because scotch is like, it's cost prohibitive, where bourbon isn't necessarily cost prohibitive. An average bourbon that's priced at $60, I'm comfortable with spending $60 on within reason. It really depends on where it's from. If it's from a reputable brand like Barrell, Doc Swinson's, even Smoke Wagon, which I don't think as high as Barrell or Doc Swinson's of, I'm comfortable with paying $60 for their product. Old Forester, Maker's Mark, Iron Root, Jack Daniels, especially Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels knocks the park out of value. Four Roses, 70, like a reputable brand I'm comfortable with, but a reputable brand that's charging like $70 in scotch, I'm not as comfortable with because it's just, scotch is an uncomfortable category for me. So I love the fact that I'm able to try these Battle Hill offerings. And yeah, this might not be as good as the 12-year-old cash strength, but for $32, a 7-year-old over 100 proof scotch, can't complain. F word it. And I hope that doesn't get me demonetized. I don't know what does or does not outside of just saying like the F word out loud. But yeah, super light. Like this is like my piss when I'm relatively hydrated, which isn't comfortable. I don't like drinking anything that color. Like, apple cider, peated scotch, things under that ratio. That being said, it's nice, man. Very weird with the things we've consumed today to be going into like a peated scotch, but it doesn't seem buried, which usually that's my issue with a lot of scotch is I'm an American whiskey drinker, so I really like robust palates and I really like aggressive, intense whiskeys that are usually typically aggressive and intense implies higher ABV. And you see, that's just kind of my modus operandi as a whiskey drinker. But this is standing up really well because it is a higher proof variation as well. Because a lot of scotch is usually around 80, especially for, you're not finding a scotch over 100 proof for $30. You're just not. Like if you're buying like a 12-year-old, like even Glenmorangie 10, I think it's like $40 now. And I think it's like the bottom of the barrel. And it does not taste intense. I mean, a part of the intensity of this is the fact that it's peated. But man, that's a good peat. I like Bunnahabhain. I need to get into some of their more stuff. Okay. Oh man, that's so freaking good. So good. I really like that. Otherwise, if you're in an area that has a Total Wine and you're in the Total Wine, check out the Battle Hill offerings because you might be impressed the amount of value you can get out of this box. Because they are kind of a dumb label, a dumb box, but I'm very impressed with this offering for the price I paid, especially for the price I paid for it. That being said, that is a wrap for today's video. Please do me that favor, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about this live stream, as well as let me know what you'd like to see me do in the future. If you haven't done so already, check out all the other YouTube channels that came in and hang out. I'll be honest, I don't think there were any today, but just to name a few, Bourbon Note, Whiskey Wars, geez Louise, why am I having a hard time thinking of names? Bourbon Note, Whiskey Wars, Bourbon School, I love them. They're freaking awesome. I need to have them on again. There's a ton of other ones. One of my mods, if you don't mind, just drop in all the ones you really like. Like, I trust y'all. You guys are freaking great. But yeah, again, we'll hopefully see you next week. I want to start. I know I said there for a bit that I was going to kind of move away from live streaming every single week. I would love to start live streaming every single week again and kind of dialing back the vlogging content. My idea in the short term was I was gonna vlog instead of live streaming. I wasn't aware of all the work involved into vlogging, and yeah, it's just not, it didn't work out. And also, I missed you guys. I kind of did. I don't know why. That's just freaking weird. But either which way, thank you guys so much for hanging out. This has been Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans. I hope you guys had a great time. We will see you guys next week. Cheers, y'all. We'll see you later.